China now grounding those planes. It's the second crash involving a Boeing 737 MAX 8 in 6 months. But Boeing says it's not issuing new guidance about this aircraft.
U.S. airlines that are flying them say they remain confident about this aircraft. Very early in the investigation, we still have a lot more to learn about whether there's any connection between these two crashes.
ABC's David Curley. On Capitol Hill, another fight is brewing over border wall funding.
In a budget proposal released today, President Trump is requesting $8.6 billion in border wall funding, a hefty price tag considering the president's previous request for $5.7 billion was denied by Congress and set off the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Congress tends to look at presidential budget proposals as a wish list, a starting point for negotiations. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer slammed the proposal, saying the president caused, quote, widespread chaos with the government shutdown over a, quote, expensive and ineffective wall. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Chef Boyardee is recalling nearly 3,000 pounds of mislabeled items. The 7.5-ounce microwavable bowls of chicken and rice actually are beef ravioli, which may include milk and wheat. And that's not indicated on the label. Consumers are advised to throw out the products or return them to the store for a full refund. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or more importantly, if you sign up for a plan that you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing program. It's been around for 25 years. They have more than 400,000 members now around the country. And get this, over the years, MediShare members have shared more than $2 billion of each other's medical bills, so they could help share your needs too. And best of all, you could save a lot of money with MediShare. The typical savings for a family is around $500 a month. Your savings could be more or less, but think about what you could do with that extra money every month. So if you think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have much to offer, think again. You can join MediShare anytime, so call them today and check it out. There's no pressure. They're super easy to talk to. 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Malaysia has released an Indonesian woman charged with killing the half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Her lawyer says she thought she was participating in a reality TV show and didn't realize that she was being manipulated by North Korean intelligence. She and another woman were accused of smearing nerve agent on Kim Jong-nam's face 2 years ago. In Italy, a picturesque coastal region now banning flip-flops.
The northern Italian region of Liguria will fine you up to $2,800 if it catches you hiking on its scenic trails wearing flip-flops. Many people go to this charming area thinking they're at the seaside, but the paths joining the 5 tiny fishing villages are just like mountain trails. Local mountain search units are fed up with having to rescue visitors who get stuck on the tough, narrow trails linking the 5 villages. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
Coming to a pet store near you, dog kibble made from crickets.
Researchers with Nestle Purina Pet Care based in St. Louis say the world's population is expected to top 9 billion people in the next 30 years. And with that will come an increased demand for food and a need for other protein sources to complement traditional meat-based sources. They point out that crickets are twice as efficient at converting feed to meat as chickens, 12 times more efficient as cattle. The new dog food from the company's Root Lab product lines being test marketed in Chicago.
ABC's Kent Martin reporting from St. Louis. This is ABC News.
Do you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in personal or business taxes and you can't afford to pay? You have the right to negotiate. Has the IRS threatened to shut down your business, freeze your bank accounts, take your home, your cars, or garnish your wages? You may qualify for special programs to stop this process. Call MC Preferred Tax Services now at 800-610-7740. That's 800-610-7740. Just call 800-610-7740.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC.
The foothills for today will see partly sunny conditions and mild temperatures. Highs will top in the mid-60s. For Tuesday, mostly sunny conditions will remain in place and it will be mild and cooler. Temperatures will fall into the lower 60s. We do have a dry stretch ahead for rest before those rain chances return by the end of the work week. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And I'm Lou Gillum in the Blue Room, taking a look at that extended forecast for Wednesday. Partly cloudy, highs around 60 degrees. Clouds continue to move in throughout the day on Wednesday, becoming mostly cloudy overnight. Scattered showers, lows around 50. For Thursday, cloudy, chance of rain, highs around 65 degrees. Rain overnight, lows around 60. And then Friday and Saturday, cloudy skies, showers likely both days. Now on Friday, highs around 70, a little cooler on Saturday, highs only around 55 degrees. 6 minutes past 7 o'clock. 53 degrees right now at WCAB. By now, we're seeing the sun come up, but since the time change, it's still dark, but it's partly cloudy. Again, 53 degrees right now at WCAB. In our morning obituaries, Mr. Norris Eugene Geddes, 77, of Sunshine, died Thursday at Rutherford Regional. Funeral services are at 1 o'clock today at the Walls Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Mr. Norris Eugene Geddes. Philip Smith, 68, of Greenville, South Carolina, formerly of Forest City, passed away on Thursday at Mission Hospital in Asheville, born in Buncombe County. A celebration of Phil's life will be held at 2 o'clock today at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Military honors accorded by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. The family will be receiving friends 1 hour prior to the service at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services is in charge of the arrangements for Mr. Philip W. Smith. Betty Hensley, 82, of Ellenboro, died Saturday She was born in Rutherford County. A graveside service will be held at 4 o'clock today at the Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. The family will greet friends following the service at the graveside. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Betty W. Hensley. Gloria Price, age 78, of Forest City, died Friday at her home. A memorial service will be held at 11 o'clock tomorrow at the Paget and King Chapel. Visitation will follow the service. In lieu of flowers, contributions may be made to the Rutherford, North Carolina Beekeepers Association at 391 Old Gilberttown Road in Rutherfordton. Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Gloria Jean Price. Walter Flay Murray, 80, of Bostic, died Saturday at hospice. Funeral services will be at 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Mount Lebanon Baptist Church. Burial will follow at the Mountain View Baptist Church Cemetery. Visitation will be from 6 until 8 this evening at the Mount Lebanon Baptist Church. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services is in charge of the arrangements for Mr. Walter Flay Murray. Peggy Epley Bridges, 82, of Forest City, died Friday at hospice. Born in Rutherford County, worked in the textile industry for many years, member of the Sulphur Springs Baptist Church. A service from the graveside will be held at 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Sulphur Springs Baptist Church Cemetery. The family will greet friends following the graveside service at the cemetery. Memorials may be made to Hospice of the Carolina Foothills or to St. Jude's Research. Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Peggy Epley Bridges. Jimmy Jr. Bowen, 61, of Rutherfordton, died Saturday at hospice. Born in Rutherford County. Funeral services will be at 2 o'clock on Wednesday at the Paget and King Chapel. Burial will follow at the Cool Springs Cemetery. The family will receive friends tomorrow evening from 6 until 8 at the mortuary. Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Jimmy Jr. Bowen. Elise Rose Leitch of Lake Lure passed away on February the 14th. The family will receive friends on Friday, March the 22nd from 4:30 until 6 at Crow's Mortuary. Also on Friday, starting at 6 in the chapel at the funeral home at Crow's, Father Burke of the Immaculate Conception Roman Catholic Church will conduct a rosary. Then on Saturday the 23rd at 11, a funeral mass
New York liberals are in a full-blown
will be held at the Immaculate Conception Roman Catholic Church with a luncheon to follow.
People cannot become legal permanent residents in America if they rely on government welfare. Legal residents must be able to sustain themselves. Left thinks that's outrageous. Actually, the law's been on the books for over 100 years. The Trump administration is just planning to enforce it. But according to the New York Times, this could hurt 1 million people living in New York City. Now, let that sink in. 1 million immigrants in New York City are dependent on some form of welfare. Those government benefits include direct cash payment, food stamps, housing subsidies, transit subsidies, low-income tax credits, and more. New York liberals are livid. They say enforcing the law would humiliate immigrants and hurt their children. Governor Cuomo threatening to sue. Well, how about the taxpayers stuck paying for people who would never be here if our laws were enforced in the first place? There's zero concern for them. Did you hear about Lena Dunham? Celebrates her hysterectomy with nude photos? This is just stupid. All of this is just stupid. Tax season might be an identity thief's favorite time of year, folks, and that's because there's a chance that your personal information could be exposed with all the tax paperwork going back and forth online. A cyber criminal only needs your name, your date of birth, and your social security number to get a tax refund in your name. They do that by filing before you do. Now, it's a good thing there's LifeLock. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to see threats to your identity that you could miss if you're just looking at your credit score. If there's an identity theft issue, LifeLock's dedicated restoration team members will work to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions in all businesses, but LifeLock helps protect your identity during tax season and beyond. Sign up right now, get 10% off your first year. It's LifeLock.com, or you can call them 800-440-4833. Make sure you use my name as the promo code when you sign up. You get 10% off.
Health insurance is complicated, and with healthcare reform on the way, it's not getting any simpler. If you've got questions, we've got agents. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent can walk you through the changes and offer you the right healthcare plan with the right benefits for you. Healthcare may be changing, but our superior service isn't. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Gregory's Original Restaurant in the Park Lane Plaza is the perfect dining choice of Rutherford County. Greg offers all your favorite dishes. Try their delicious subs, grinders, pasta, chicken, burgers, fresh garden salads, and the most delicious steaks served with mushroom gravy or peppers and onions. Be sure to call on Gregory's for all your catering needs at 287-2171. Check out the website for menus and event information, www.gregorysoriginal.com. Gregory's in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton.
A person doesn't have to be a fan of the Old West to have heard about the OK Corral shootout. There were a number of factors that led up to that event, but one of the more prominent events was a stagecoach robbery. It was March 15, 1881, 7 months before the OK Corral shootout. The stagecoach running between Benson and Tombstone was carrying $26,000 in silver bullion. 3 masked men attempted to rob the stage. In the process, the driver and a passenger were killed. But because the shots caused the stage horses to run, the robbers didn't get the silver. 2 posses took out after the robbers. One included Doc Holliday, Bat Masterson, Virgil Morgan, and Wyatt Earp. The other was led by Sheriff John Behan, Wyatt Earp's rival in love and everything else 2 men full of testosterone could come up with. Wyatt wanted Behan's job as sheriff, and he knew if he captured the robbers, it would assure his election. Wyatt's posse was unable to keep up with the robbers because they got fresh horses. 17 days later, Wyatt's posse returned with exhausted horses. Bat Masterson even had to hitch a ride on a lumber wagon. Upon arrival, Wyatt discovered Behan had arrested one of the robbers, but he had escaped almost as soon as he was locked up. In addition, Big Nose Kate, Doc Holliday's girlfriend, had said Doc was a part of the stagecoach robbery. So upon arrival, Doc was put in jail. The next time we're together, we'll see how things keep escalating until they get beyond everyone's control. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
15 minutes past 7 o'clock at WCAB. It's time now to start the call-around portion of our morning report, and we start first with the Rutherford County Detention Center, and we have Officer Suttles on the phone with us this morning. Good morning, Officer Suttles.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
What have you got to report this morning?
In the last 48 hours, we've had 102 calls for service, 8 arrests, currently housing 155 in the jail. For incident reports, Courtney Annabelle Bean reported misdemeanor larceny, injured to real property. Terry Wilder reported breaking and entering misdemeanor, damage to personal property. And for arrest, Leah Harmon was arrested on a failure to appear and is currently being held on a $5,000 secure bond. That's all I have for you this morning.
That is a good report for a weekend. That's short.
It is.
You have a great day, and hopefully it'll stay a slow day for you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's fertilizer time, and Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply has what you need. 17, only $13.45 for the 50-pound bag. They have in stock red Pontiac seed potatoes, Kennebec seed potatoes, and Yukon Gold potatoes. Cowlick tubs only $49.99 for a 200-pound tub. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply now has new 100-pound propane tanks for only $124.99. Choose from a wide selection of Bonnie plants. And remember, Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply has the best deals on Diamond dog food. Check them out soon at 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherford. Phone them at 287-3272.
17 minutes past 7 o'clock. From the jail, we go on to 911, and we have Candy on this Monday morning. Good morning, Candy.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Doing good.
Good. Did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Was this your weekend to work?
I worked on Saturday for extra, but it was my weekend that was off, and then I'm working this weekend.
Okay. How does it work whenever you run the clocks forward? Do you still have to stay over an extra hour, or you just go on when 7 o'clock rolls around?
You stay an extra hour.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All righty. What have you got to report this morning?
In the past 48 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 606 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 46 for EMS with 22 for rescue. For law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office had 182, Fort City had 110, Rutherford had 23, Lake Lure had 13, and Spindle had 71. Our fire calls, Cliffside responded to a motor vehicle accident, Cherry Mountain to an industrial fire alarm, Fort City to 2 motor vehicle accidents, Green Hill to an industrial fire alarm and a residential fire alarm, Rutherford to an industrial fire alarm, Spindle to an industrial fire alarm, and Sandy Muster motor vehicle accident. And that's all we had.
Okay, Candy. Well, you have a great day, and hopefully it stays slow for you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing.
Don't miss these doorbuster specials. Get ready for spring at Henson Building Materials in Forest City. You can get a 50-quart Latitude cooler for $32.99. You can get a Makita corded reciprocating saw, 120-volt, $79.99. Bent strap barn door hardware kit, 250-pound steel matte black, $149.99. And the Milwaukee 4832 4014 driver bit set, 55-piece alloy steel. It's only $9.99. Sales and special pricing ends on March the 30th. That's at Henson Building Materials on Duke Street in Forest City. Moving on around, we've got Ruby Taylor on the phone. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Well, I'm okay, I guess.
Oh, it sounds like you got kind of the cruds going.
Well, I think I have.
Oh, my goodness.
But the fire department didn't have any calls. And I've got Nora Ezel, Connie Grant and Nicholas Sisk having birthdays today, and hope they have a nice day. The signs are in the neck and going to the arms tomorrow, and that's all I got, Lou.
All right, Ruby. Hope you get to feeling better.
Thank you, bye.
All right, bye-bye. Well, when you want some sound facts about your hearing, well, the place to go is to Miracle Ear. Check out that Genius 2.0. Now, millions of satisfied customers. You hear that number? Millions. Miracle Ear customers worldwide, because there's no better or respected or well-known brand of hearing aids than Miracle Ear. Schedule your free hearing test by calling 828-368-4126. Now, you may want to ask about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0. Now, it has that advanced technology, the high-def sound quality that adapts to your surroundings automatically, zeroing in on conversations and reducing that distracting background noise. It prevents those embarrassing whistling noises that can occur sometimes. There's a lot of features that you're going to appreciate about that hearing aid, and you can talk to Lisa Terry about it when you call her, when you are ready for a positive change in your hearing. Now, if you'd like to go to Forest City, the address is 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102. They're in the same building with Southern Carpet. Call 828-368-4126. Or if you'd like to go to the Shelby office, it is at 1506 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. And if you'd just like to check them out, you can check them out on the web at www.miracle-ear-forestcitync.com. And Miracle Ear has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Moving on up to Fairfield and checking in with Steve this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. It's Lou. It's pretty dark outside. We're trying to figure out where's what.
I don't think we need to be changing time. There's no reason for it anymore, not what it was used for in years past. We don't have many farmers that have to go to work and come home and work the farm.
Right.
And we're not in an energy crisis supposedly anymore, so why do it?
Well, Florida just went to eliminating daylight savings time, I understand.
Yeah, some states have.
So it would be interesting to see if we could do the same. I'd certainly be for it, because the adjusting thing, I got a midnight guy that every time the time changes, he has to lose an hour or gain an hour, and the rest of us have to work around them. Yeah, so I'd like to see them do away with it as well, if it's possible.
Well, my first job, of course, was at the pantry. That was my very first job. And if you worked on the night that the clock went forward, of course, you went home at 7 o'clock. When 7 o'clock rolled around, it was 7 o'clock. Well, when we turned the clocks back, they paid you that extra hour.
Yeah.
That was really, I thought that was really cool. They were really nice about that.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. Here, you could work an extra hour if you want to.
That's all right.
You won't lose the hour. You don't have to lose it.
That's right.
You work it. But, yeah, it can be, an issue, because some people don't set their clocks back and can be late for work, but I didn't have that this season, so that's good. I'm happy with that. It's been fairly quiet over the weekend. We haven't had anything that was reported to me of any interest. We got our rowing teams here, 3 of them. That includes University of North Carolina, and I'm sure they're going to have a giddy up in their steps after beating Duke. What was it, Saturday?
79-70.
Oh, okay, so you know a little bit about it.
Mm. Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so there's some Duke fans here, so I just I'll have to watch their expressions when they enter the resort this morning. Oh Lord, it's going to be a gator. We lose every time. If you stay, adjusted to not, winning championships, I guess. We won 2 back-to-back a few years back, but in basketball, and another one. But other than that, we're pretty much a football school. So, but good for those folks that are Carolina fans, and like I said, we have the rowing team here, so that'll be fun. At least we don't have the Duke rowing team here. That wouldn't be good.
I don't think so.
So we got 4 teams actually this week, and then we're going to have another 3 or 4 this weekend. And on Saturday, they'll all be here. So it'll be kind of it'll be interesting to get them all organized in different places because we're kind of maxed out on where we could put them.
Now, if you want to see them rolling, if somebody could you see them from the beach area, or would you have to come toward the Fairfield where you are to be able to see them practice? Or
yeah, you come up here and look down from the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it real good out the restaurant window, the Legends on the Lake restaurant, and from the beach too. But I think it's a better look looking down from the restaurant onto the water. You could get a better perspective. So.
That'd be neat to watch.
Yeah, they are. They're very smooth and elegant. So we always enjoy, getting taking lunch breaks maybe and just watching them out there glide along. Sometimes it's snowing in years past when they're out there.
Oh, bless their hearts.
Yeah, I know. So we're glad to have that group of folks out here, and it's good for the economy. So it's a win-win.
Well, anything else happening?
No. It's that's pretty much what we're doing, and we're just moving forward with our schedule here. So with the road teams, and after that, we'll see what happens.
All right, Steve. Well, you have a good day today, and we'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay, we'll be here.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
JD and Marie Shook have lost their minds, or they've just got the New Year spirit. Starting now, every time you visit the Recliner Center, you can register to win a brand spanking new recliner. A recliner will be given away every month from now and just whenever. All you have to do is go to the Recliner Center and register. Now, after the drawing, the names will be tossed out, and at the beginning of the month, a new box will be ready for you to register again. So don't miss out on your chance to win a recliner from the Recliner Center. This is JD and Marie's way of saying thank you to all their friends and customers for making them a success for over 30 years. Don't forget to check out the Spring Air bedding. Doctors tell us a good night's sleep is very important for energy and stamina. Shouldn't you be resting better this year and having more energy? Spring Air bedding and a chance to win a recliner. And the Recliner Center will now be opening on Mondays and Tuesdays. Store hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 2. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton. And Christine Freeman from Bostic was the February winner of the recliner from the Recliner Center. So if you would like to have a chance to win that recliner, go to the Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton. No purchase necessary. Just go in the door and, well, take a look around and take a look at all those good nice recliners and bedding in the Recliner Center, and make sure you do register for that recliner. So again, Christine Freeman from Bostic was the February winner of that recliner. Moving on up. I think we're moving up. Checking in with Bob Hodge. Morning, Bob.
Well, good morning, Lou.
How are you, Bob?
Oh, doing just fine this morning. Hope you are.
I am.
Well, you're looking good. I can't see. It's still pretty dark this morning.
I know. It's supposed to be a little bit light. It's supposed to be already daylight by now.
Well, it won't be many days. The days are getting longer. It'll lighten up a little quicker over here. So, but we're getting longer daylight hours now. But it's kind of hard to get back used to it after being on the other time for a while. But we'll get used to it.
Yeah.
But Lou, up here with the fire department over the weekend, we answered a few medical calls. Hadn't had any fire or accident calls. And I want to say happy birthday to Trevor McAbee this morning. And also Piedmont Pleasant Hill Community Center is having a spaghetti and salad supper coming up this coming Saturday, March the 16th, and that's from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And Lou, that's about it up here this morning, so.
Well, you've not done anything this weekend.
No, we ain't had too much, but boy, wasn't yesterday nice there, though, after rainy Saturday, but yesterday turned out real pretty there.
Yeah, it did.
And warmed up there some. But I'm ready for about a week of dry weather over here. It seems like every other day it rains or something.
And it's going to start again Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, it looks like a chance of rain toward the end of the week again there, but maybe we'll get a little dry spell before too long anyway. So
Yeah, might as well be springtime. If it's not going to snow, come on, be springtime.
yeah, we need a little spring weather now. Getting too wet to plow. People wanting to turn their gardens, get them fixed there, but ain't nothing but mud right now to get off.
I can imagine.
The dirt, yeah. But, Lou, you take care over there, and you have a good day.
All righty, you and Imogene have a good one. We'll talk to you in the morning.
All right.
All righty, bye-bye.
When you need daycare services for your adult loved one, Rutherford Life Services is always there for a dependable and loving environment. Rutherford Life offers a place to go during the daytime for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and creative activities. Caregivers can go to work knowing that their loved one is in a safe and reliable place. Rutherford Life is licensed by the North Carolina Division of Aging. Rutherford Life has a full staff of trained professionals who show love and support. Call them today and let them answer any questions you may have concerning adult daycare services. 828-288-1697 or visit the facility at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325.
You know, we've told you all the things that you can get at Washburn Store, so Jim kind of made it a little easy for me. He put it in alphabetical order for me. So here we go. You can get candy cups and caps, Bell's bulbs and butter. You can get corn seed, cornmeal, and corn shellers, mayonnaise marbles, measuring cups, pots, pans, popcorn poppers, lamps, lamp oil, lanterns, dippers, dishpans, diet drinks, straw hats, shovels, and signs, hot ginger ale, mild ginger ale, diet ginger ale, toy wagons, toy tractors, tomatoes. What are you looking for? Oh, he missed one thing. Those overalls. And if they don't have your size overalls, they can order them for you. So that's what they've got at the Washburn General Store. That and more. Washburn General Store on the Bostic Sunshine Highway in the Washburn community. Well, I heard her yawn, so I don't think she's used to the time change yet. Sue, you all right?
I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm not like getting up in the dark, though. I tell you, the little school kids that wait on the bus that just got used to daylight. Now they're having to be out in the dark.
Yeah, that's...
It'll change pretty soon.
Yeah, it will.
It'll be getting light. We'll get used to it after a week or so, probably.
Well, they're lucky today. There's no school today, so...
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. The fire department had answered one fire alarm. Have no birthdays on my church calendar. Nothing on my personal calendar for today. Fairview's got a birthday for Joy Van Dyke, so I hope she'll have a good day today. And First Broad's got a birthday for Scott Brackett. So we hope Scott will have a good day. And we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day. And so far, I don't have any announcements that have come in, so just quiet over here and finally getting a little daylight. But we hope you have a good day, Lou.
Well, you too, Sue, and lay back down if you need a little nap.
Talk to you later.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So when you're ready to downsize your home and move to a safe, friendly community, let me recommend Eastwood Village. What a beautiful adult community in a private neighborhood designed for active people who desire privacy, security, independence, and maintenance-free living. I like that maintenance-free living part, don't you? Eastwood Village consists of 37 homes located just 2 miles east of Forest City on Highway 74 Business. Eastwood homes are privately owned and self-governed by a board which consists of only homeowners. Eastwood homeowners take pride in a beautiful, spacious clubhouse, outdoor pool, large gazebo, great neighbors. You get health care on site, 24-hour emergency nursing service, meals are available, and so much more. If you like being with active adults who enjoy a private country setting and live in your own home, you should contact Eastwood Village Senior Adult Community right away. Let me arrange a personal tour for you and see for yourself. Call John Salone or Mike McKeithen at 828-245-1995. I know you'll love it. Again, that's 245-1995. Tell them Jim said to show you around.
22 minutes before 8 o'clock. 53 degrees and partly cloudy skies, I think, because it's still dark. Checking in with Brenda. Morning, Brenda.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing just fine. It's good to hear your wonderful voice this morning.
Well, it's good to hear you, too. When'd you get your phone going again?
Yeah, they got it fixed. They talked like it might be a week, but it didn't take them but a day. I was surprised. So
They figure out what it was?
Good. Do what?
Did they figure out what it was, what the problem was?
I don't. They didn't say. I just know that everybody that was on AT&T up through here didn't have one. So it was. I don't know what it was. But they got it fixed. That's the main thing. Now if they'll just get this working on the bridge over here, where I don't have to drive almost 7 miles out of the way to get to Highway 221, that'll be good.
You can't win for losing, can you?
No. But no, at least I can still get in and out, so that's the main thing. But we hope everybody's having a good day today.
Has your driveway been washing out with all this rain?
My part hadn't, but some down on the flat part coming in by the creek has. It's got great old big holes in it. I'm going to have to do something about that.
You have to do it.
Well,
they won't.
Ain't nobody else doing it.
Show them who's boss, Brenda. Get down there. Flex them muscles, girl.
But anyway, it is what it is. But it's been so rainy, you can't get nothing done anyway.
No, you can't.
Golly, it's a rain. But anyway, we're going to enjoy the day. I've got 50 degrees on the front porch. We've had 3/10 of an inch of rain since Saturday morning. Birthdays and anniversaries today. I've got Joyce Garland, Buster Gear, and Paul West, and Jim and Sheila Culberson an anniversary. I don't have anything on around here as far as birthdays or anniversaries, but the community club meeting will be tonight at 6 o'clock. And then Piedmont Pleasant Hill Clubhouse is going to have a spaghetti supper, and they always have a big salad bar with this. This will be March the 16th, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., $8 for adults, 6 and under eat for free. And so far, that's all I got going on.
And they do have a good spaghetti. They do have some good spaghetti.
Dude, you been over there and eat?
Yeah, I have.
I haven't been over there. I've been to that and over at Thornwood City. And I usually fix spaghetti here about twice a month. I love it, you know, but and I can't eat salads, so I'm out on that.
You can't eat the lettuce? Like, just put like lettuce, onions, and cheese or nothing like that?
I can't eat lettuce, and I can't eat cucumbers, and I can't eat tomatoes. Now, I can eat, if it's a big salad bar, like where they've got cheese and chopped up eggs and
ham and turkey and stuff.
Bits of ham and stuff, and I can put pineapple, and I can eat that. But no, I can't eat the lettuce, and I can't eat the tomatoes, and I can't eat the cucumbers, and I love all of it.
Oh my goodness!
So I'm just out on that, but that's all right.
Yeah, we usually wind up having either spaghetti or baked spaghetti once a week. My nephew makes the best sauce, so I mean it's like, what day you gonna make it?
Yeah, well, if I have any left over, I'll do baked spaghetti out of it too, but usually there ain't much left over. Me and little man both like it, so I always have that Texas toast garlic bread with it.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
I went home Friday. I left here Friday, and I went home, and it was, it's getting ready to rain.
Yeah.
I had that feeling it's going to rain anyway.
Yeah.
I put on a pot of soup and let it cook all night long. We had soup.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
We had homemade soup.
See? That's good for a good cake of cornbread. That's good.
Yep. Well, I didn't make the cornbread. I didn't have any cornmeal. I forgot to pick up cornmeal, but we did have soup and crackers, so that was good.
Well, that's good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know of anything else going on up here, Lou. So.
All right, Brenda. Well, just take care of everything and take care of yourself. And be careful if you do get down working on that road.
Okay. You have a good day.
All right. You too.
Okay. Bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Listen to me closely. I'm going to let you in on this first before the word spreads too much. Want everybody to know Foothills closeout sale is underway, and boy, are you going to be amazed at the bargains. Go to 153 Sparks Drive to the building beside the Hampton Inn and see for yourself. Leather sofa and chairs, marble and granite vanities, beautiful hutches, double bowl and single bowl sinks. At this Foothills closeout huge sale, there are 20 or more linen hutches, dining room tables, wood and glass, traditional and contemporary. Plenty of table chairs, armless leather chairs, even very nice standalone showers for your basement or any room in the house. Now at the Foothills closeout sale, they're going to be open after lunch till about 9 p.m. You can call DeWitt at 447-7313 for other times. Jim went by. He was so impressed with the quality and selection, and he knows that you're going to be even more impressed with the closeout prices. So get over today, right beside the Hampton Inn. They're on Sparks Drive. That's the Foothills closeout huge sale. You can know a successful business by the company they keep and the years of service to their customers. That's Southern Carpet and Hardwood Floors. Since 1993, Gerald and Lynn Toney have set out to offer the best products at affordable prices and ensure their customers are satisfied. Their son Clayton joined the business when he was old enough to look over the display cases, and he's been impressing customers ever since. The company, Southern Carpet, keeps and includes some of the best: Bruce Hardwood, Appalachian Hardwood, Armstrong Vinyl, Shaw Carpet, and many more you'll recognize. Southern Carpet has the largest selection of hardwoods and laminates in the area. Check with them when you want something done to your floors. Free estimates and expert installation. Drop by and see them at 1512 West Main Street in Forest City, right across from North State Gas. Look them up on Facebook and check out their website at www.southerncarpet.net. 15 minutes before 8 o'clock. Still stuck on 53 degrees, and now I can see outside. And now I can tell the sun's coming up a little bit. It's time to check in Ellenboro, and got Luther Killigan on the phone. Morning, Luther.
Good morning. We had to wait around sunshine this morning, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We had to wait. I couldn't see across the street to see whether George had the gates open yet or not.
Yeah, can't see over there.
No, I couldn't see a thing.
It did get lighter earlier. A little bit each day now.
Yeah.
When it got dark all of a sudden there. But hey, it's going to brighten up. We're going to have a good day down here. We're going to excuse me. It's going to get prosperous day there. We're going down here. We're going to get something done. I say, well, why we can't just have a whole lot going on? See, part of something, they had 3 calls. They had 1 call Saturday, early Saturday morning. And had 1 call. We had 2 calls yesterday. one yesterday morning about time, about 10 o'clock. Other than that, fire department quiet, nothing going on in. They just enjoying the peace and quiet while they can. And we just have nothing going on back there. Don't have no birthdays, no anything. Everybody just trying to get back to work, get back in the groove. It's Monday, we get to go back to work, and I know everybody's happy about that. Nothing else happening, Lou. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to somebody tomorrow.
All righty, Luther. You have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, we have this public service announcement. This has been revised. It's from CSX Railroad. They've scheduled closing the traffic for repair. And it's going to mean that it's going to be a rerouting of traffic. They will have signs in place marking detour routes. Now, in the Mooresboro area, NC 120, US 74, Ellenboro Road, that was closed back on March the 7th. Now, I don't know if it's reopened yet or not due to the rain. I don't know, but we haven't heard anything any different. Now, coming up on tomorrow, March the 12th, there's going to be about 3 or 4 places closing up. Race Path Church Road between US 74, Ellenboro, and Harold Street, that will be closing. Church Street, US 74, Main Street, and Harold Street. Henrietta Street between US 74, Main, and Harold Street. South Glen Street between Depot and Friendship Drive. Main Street, US 74, between Burns Road and Piney Mountain Church Road. That's going to be closing tomorrow. Burns Road between Husky Road and Piney Mountain Church Road. That's going to be closing on Tuesday. Now, again, that's the CSX Railroad scheduled crossings. They're going to be doing some work. And, of course, as I said, they will have signs in place for detours. Now, in the Bostic area, for those of you who travel that area, you can plan ahead. March the 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. Now, on the 18th, Pinehurst Road, that's going to be closing on the 18th. Kaiser Road between Tiny Road and East Church Road. On the 20th, North Main Street, West Church Street, and Pea Ridge Road. And then Brick Road near the Brickyard, that's going to be closing on the 21st. And those dates, of course, are subject to change due to weather and any other conditions. Our forecast for today, cloudy. Looking for highs warming around 65 degrees. Clear tonight, lows around 40. Rain moving back into the area by Wednesday night. Scattered showers, lows around 50. Then on Thursday, it's a 70% chance. Highs around 65. Friday, highs around 70. And then Saturday, a little bit cooler. Highs only around 55 to 57 degrees. 53 degrees and cloudy skies at 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton.
It's time for you to test drive the affordable, fuel-efficient Ford Fusion from Sisk Family Ford in Forest City. Family-owned Sisk Ford can put you into the car you want with a payment plan you can appreciate. If it's a truck you want, get the Ford truck that's breaking records in sales. Ask about why the sales department is being bragged on with each and every sale that they make. They love your business at Sisk Family Ford, and it shows. New and used automobiles and an award-winning service department makes Sisk Family Ford the choice for so many. Step up to Ford today. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
The month of March is Red Cross Month, and for more than 130 years, heroic American Red Cross volunteers have provided hope and urgent relief to families and communities across the country. This March, the community is invited to join in the life-saving mission of the Red Cross and be someone's hero by rolling up a sleeve and give blood to one of the following blood drives. There is a blood drive tomorrow at the Gilkey School Community Center. That's going to be in the cafeteria at 217 Gilkey School Road in Rutherfordton. That will be from 2 until 6. And then, of course, if you can't make that one, on Monday the 18th, there will be one at Lowe's in Forest City. The American Red Cross bus will be there at 184 Lowe's Boulevard in Forest City. And there are others throughout the month of March, and we will keep you abreast of where those are going to be. Well, while we're talking about it, go ahead and mark your calendar. Wednesday, March the 21st, the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce will sponsor one at the Isothermal Community College Gym, Highway 74 West. That will be from 2 until 6:30. So again, those bloodmobiles at the Gilkey School Community Center cafeteria on Tuesday from 2 until 6. Lowe's in Forest City on Monday, March the 18th from 12:30 until 5. And the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce will be sponsoring one at Isothermal Community College. That will be in the gym. Wednesday, March the 21st from 2 until 6:30. Well, your vision is very important to you, and who you trust your vision to should be just as important. Dr. Troy Tevis, he's owner-operator of Tri-City Optometric Care in Rutherford, and he has been voted best in Rutherford County 3 years in a row. Dr. Tevis takes the time to understand his patients' needs and concerns. Tri-City Optometric Eye Care offers full-service eye exams, contact lenses, emergency eye treatment, quality, affordable eyewear, and hundreds of fashion frames. The friendly office staff will be glad to file your visit with Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross, United Healthcare, March Vision, iMed, just to name a few. Dr. Tevis is accepting new patients. Just call 828-288-8662 for an appointment. Tri-City Optometric Eye Care is located at 337 North Main Street in Rutherford, and Dr. Tevis also has an office in Tryon at 486 South Trade Street. If your vision is important to you, who you trust your vision care to should be just as important. Tri-City Optometric Eye Care. Again, that address, 337 North Main Street in Rutherford.
When you call a pest control company, you want to make sure they have honest and dependable experience. Hutchins Pest Control has all those qualities and more. 45 years experience in pest control service, now including moisture control, waterproofing, mold remediation, dehumidification, and more. Get rid of mice, rats, wildlife, fire ants, bed bugs, and termites. Call today for residential and commercial service. 287-5171. Voted best of best for 9 years. That's Hutchins Pest Control.
Get your birthdays and anniversaries called in, 287-3356, 287-3356. And Todd's waiting to take your calls. And someone this morning will win a dozen donuts from Granny B's. Well, in an effort is being launched to collect gently used children's books to be donated to elementary and middle schools in Rutherford County. The project, organized by Washburn Real Estate, started back on February the 1st and will continue to the end of this month. The project is similar to one carried out several years ago by the County Literacy Council and the Daily Courier. The effort resulted in more than 4,000 books being donated. The real estate agency is working with the school district to distribute the books to children in both elementary and middle schools. Stores and public locations in the county are being sought to serve as collection points. The aim is to have a collection point in each area of the county. Each collection point will receive a box in which the books can be placed. Collections will take place during normal business hours, and after the March 31st deadline, the books will be picked up and reviewed to ensure that each book is in good condition and appropriate for the young person. Distribution of the books is expected to take place in May before the children leave for summer vacation. And if you don't have any gently used books, well, there is a store in Forest City that has children's books at very, very low price. Actually, their logo is Good Stuff Cheap. Give you an idea. Go by and buy a book and donate it to this. Dolly Parton does this, where she tries to get books to in children's hands, children from 5 and under, so that a child gets a book and learns to read. She did that because her father never learned to read, and she did that in honor of her father. And other people are getting involved in doing this, getting books for kids. So thank you to Washburn Real Estate for stepping up into this effort to get books into the hands of children. One of the things that I grew up loving to do was reading, and I continue today loving to read. I don't know. I just feel like once I finish a book, I've got to start another, and want to get these books, get kids interested in reading, get them away from computers and get them to reading books. Some people say, well, they can read a book on the computer. It's not the same thing. To me, it's not. Some folks say it is. They can read a book on the computer. I can't. There's something about holding that book and just, I don't know, the smell of the paper is just, that's just me. I just like to hold a book. Anyway, get your birthdays and anniversaries in 287-3356. Todd is awaiting.
McCurry-Deck Motors has been providing the stylish Buick for families for generations. Come browse a new selection and you'll find the car that everybody's talking about. The family-owned dealership is deeply entrenched in our community. They understand the needs of the customers and will work with them to find the perfect car, truck, or crossover for their lives. Experience the new Buick at McCurry-Deck Motors. Take a look around the website to learn more about everything offered at McCurry-Deck Motors, 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about.
Happy birthday.
Well, celebrating birthdays today, Maddox Gilmer from Caroline, Sheila Womack from Forest City. Tiffany Smith is 40 today. She lives in Golden Valley. Michael Crowder works for S&S Trucking, lives in Polk County, celebrating a birthday today. Also celebrating a birthday on this March 11th, Joyce Garland, celebrating a birthday. Buster Gear, Paul West, Jim and Sheila Cuthbertson, celebrating a wedding anniversary today. Congratulations to all these folks. If you didn't get your birthday or anniversary called in, hope you have a happy anniversary or a happy birthday. I think Todd's got another one coming back. Kelly Hughes, 19, works at Spindale Drug, celebrating a birthday today. And in about just a minute, we'll give away that dozen donuts from Granny B's. And congratulations to Michael Crowder, works at S&S Trucking, lives in Polk County. Michael won the dozen donuts from Granny B's this morning. And all you have to do, Michael, come by, pick up your certificate, take it to Granny B's, and go by. And hopefully later on today you'll be enjoying those delicious Granny B's donuts. Well, let's see. Coming up this week, we've got the ACC tournament, and looks like we're going to be jumping in on a Thursday. What time? Don't know yet. I have to find that out from Learfield Sports. Hopefully we'll know that by midday today. Looks like we may be joining at around 11 o'clock for games 1 and 2, and then I believe the Tarheels. If I'm correct on the time that I was given, I believe the Tarheels have the first evening game, 7 o'clock. So pregame will start at around 6 o'clock. So join us for the ACC tournament. That starts on Thursday for us. Now, we'll also be bringing you the NCAA tournament, but we don't have any times on that yet, but that's going to be coming up next. And then, of course, what's next? Atlanta Braves baseball. Can't wait for that season. Going to be starting up next month.
But the WCAB marketing team go to work for your business.
But we got Braves coming up next. So ABC News is next, and then the Word of Faith is in at 8:30.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Crews have now recovered both black boxes from Sunday's Ethiopian air crash, and the NTSB and Boeing are sending investigators to the crash site near Addis Ababa, and questions mount over the aircraft involved. It's the second deadly crash involving the Boeing 737 MAX 8 in 6 months. The first was the Lion Air jet that went down in October. ABC News aviation expert Colonel Steve Gagnier.
The Lion Air crash started when there was a problem with the autopilot. It ultimately should have been handled by the pilots, but it was not. So there's a question here, was there similar circumstances that led to a tragedy?
Those Boeing model planes. President Trump scheduled to submit his 2020 budget proposal today. It includes $8.6 billion for a border wall.
With Democrats controlling the House and Republicans controlling the Senate, it's even more unlikely that a Trump administration budget proposal gains significant ground. But it's a way for the president to signal he's willing to once again play hardball on a top priority, a border wall.
ABC's Karen Travers at the White House. An Indonesian woman held for 2 years on suspicion of helping in the killing of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's half-brother has been freed.
Siti Aisha cried and hugged her Vietnamese co-defendant before leaving the courtroom. Through a translator, she says,
I feel happy. I did not expect today would be my day of freedom. Thanks to the president, to all the ministers, my lawyer from Malaysia, Mr. Gui, and those in Malaysia who helped to free me.
The trial will resume Thursday, with prosecutors expected to reply to a request by the other defendants' lawyers asking the government to also withdraw charges against her.
You're listening to ABC News.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or more importantly, if you sign up for a plan that you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing program. It's been around for 25 years. They have more than 400,000 members now around the country. And get this, over the years, MediShare members have shared more than $2 billion of each other's medical bills, so they could help share your needs too. And best of all, you could save a lot of money with MediShare. The typical savings for a family is around $500 a month. Your savings could be more or less, but think about what you could do with that extra money every month. So if you think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have much to offer, think again. You can join MediShare anytime, so call them today and check it out. There's no pressure. They're super easy to talk to. 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Just after the collapse of the second nuclear summit between President Trump and North Korea's Kim Jong-un, satellite images appeared to show renewed activity at 2 nuclear facilities in North Korea, suggesting preparations for another test launch. ABC's Louis Martinez tells us this activity was underway even before the summit began.
If commercial satellites are picking up that kind of imagery, you can sure bet that U.S. intelligence satellites, which are much more advanced and have better imagery capabilities, are picking them up too. And that also means that U.S. officials were probably aware of all this activity just before the Hanoi summit.
White House National Security Advisor John Bolton says President Trump is prepared to re-engage with North Korea's leader. The last civilians have left the Syrian town, still under ISIS control. ABC's James Longman is in the region and tells us a final push is underway to get the extremist fighters out.
ISIS weapon stores are being targeted and U.S.-backed troops are moving in. It's thought around 1,500 jihadis refuse to surrender and are holed up inside. One of the main challenges for the coalition are the many tunnels in Baghouz. They date back to before ISIS, and there's no telling who or what could be down there. James Longman, ABC News in Syria.
For the second straight week, the Deep South is cleaning up after weekend tornadoes. At least 3 EF1 storms touching down in the Shreveport, Louisiana area alone. Nearly a dozen twisters swept through the South, causing extensive damage. No reports of serious injuries. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I'm Michelle Franzen.
If you haven't tried Jesse James Railroad Express, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford, you've been missing out. Jesse has some of the most delicious burgers, clubs, hot dogs, chef salads, taco salads, and much more. Everything is made to order, fresh daily, open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 4. Mention this ad and get a hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions, only 99 cents. That's Mondays only.
The foothills will see dry conditions across the area for much of the week ahead. Otherwise, we could squeeze out some sunshine for today and temperatures heading into the mid-60s by the afternoon. We'll have to watch some areas off to the south in the lower 70s. Mostly sunny conditions will remain on tap on Tuesday. Expect those highs to be cooler, though, in the 60s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now, 53 degrees and cloudy skies at 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherford. Your home for the ACC tournament, and we've got the ACC tournament starting on Thursday. And looks like 11 o'clock is going to be our starting time for the ACC tournament. And you can hear that here on WCAB. Are you in the market for auto, home, motorcycle, or mobile home coverage? Let the professionals at A1 Insurance protect your family. They offer low down payments, multi-car discounts, multi-policy discounts. They have great rates for families and individuals with DUIs and points on their license. They also offer any type of property and casualty insurance. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Let the insurance experts go to work for you. Call Elizabeth Yelton at 245-3937. They're located at 294 South Broadway in Forest City. A1 Insurance coverage where family matters. A1 Insurance also has 2 more locations, Union Road in Gastonia and East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Do you need some extra money in your pocket? Try Insurance Service Associates, your local independent agent. We can shop your auto and home insurance with several companies to get you better coverage and the best rate. Insurance Service Associates at 127 East Trade Street in Forest City for auto, home, or commercial insurance. More choices, better coverage, best rate. That's Insurance Service Associates, 245-5301.
Seven minutes past 8 o'clock. Taking a look at news from some of our news sources. First, from the Daily Courier's reporting, it remains to be seen what the next 90 days reveals about the proposition of converting the Florence Mill into a mixed-use development of apartments and retail space in downtown Forest City. At issue is whether the project is financially feasible as first proposed. On Monday night, the Forest City Council unanimously approved selling the mill property to Florence Redevelopment Partners at a price of $150,000. Final purchase approval, however, depends on what the next 3 months of studies and analysis do yield. Well, the animal shelter held a successful open house. Janice Lewis of Bostic wasn't sure what to expect when she went to the animal shelter on Saturday morning with her daughter and grandchildren, and she wound up adopting a dog that she says that she will shower with love. Seems like there were a lot of animals adopted on Saturday. Animal Control Services opened the shelter on Saturday as an open house for the public to visit, learn about the work that goes on there, learn about animal rescue organizations, and consider adopting an animal. The shelter typically does not have Saturday hours, but James Kilgo, Director of Animal Control, wants to offer Saturday hours on a trial basis. More than 50 visitors attended the event, including Tyler Hudson of Ellenboro. He adopted a large black and tan bloodhound. The dog had been in foster care for several weeks and was brought to the shelter Saturday morning in the hopes that someone would offer him a new home, and he got one. Karen Parker, director of the Brother Wolf Rescue Rutherford County chapter, says the open house event was good for people to see how well the shelter is run, how caring the employees are, and how well the animals are treated. The next shelter will have Saturday hours on April the 13th, then May the 11th, the second Saturday of the month. And, of course, by the end of the day, 3 dogs were adopted, 2 cats were adopted, 6 cats were transferred to local animal rescue organizations where they will await adoption. So folks are always calling here to ask about puppies or cats used for barnyard cats. Well, consider going to the animal shelter and adopting an animal there. Well, from Spartanburg, a husband and wife have been accused of embezzling thousands of dollars from a Spartanburg County church where they served in leadership positions. Terry Kenneth Coggins, 56, and 54-year-old Angela Coggins, both of 440 Dogwood Club Road in Spartanburg, each have been charged with breach of trust of $10,000 or more. According to the arrest warrants, the couple is accused of using $10,000 or more of Clifton Second Baptist Church's funds for personal gain between January the 1st, 2016 and October the 1st, 2018. According to an incident report, Terry Coggins previously served as the church's head of deacons, and Angela is the former treasurer. Members of the church told investigators with the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office on January the 22nd they believed the couple had taken church funds for personal use. Deputies arrested the couple on Thursday. Both were released from the Spartanburg County Detention Center on Friday morning, jail records show. Terry Coggins said he also served as the church's music director for 34 years, has been a member for 54 years. He said he's been in discussions with church members about having the charges dropped, but Sheriff's Office spokesman Lieutenant Kevin Bobo said investigations plan to pursue the case. And now since we're remembering this is Monday, we're going to check. Oops, he hung up. We'll call him back. We will do that employment report in just a second. Todd will get... we'll get him back on the phone. Well, Michael Crowder was our donut winner this morning. He works at S&S Trucking, lives in Polk County. So congratulations to Terry. Well, while we're still trying to get the employment security report back on the phone, an NFL veteran says the city of Shelby and its manager shot down his business proposal because he's an African American. Former Carolina Panther Willie Green is suing the city of Shelby and city manager Rick Howell. In the lawsuit, Green describes his effort to open a sports complex in which he planned to form a public-private partnership with local government. After 2 years of discussion and correspondence, Green's proposal was rejected. The lawsuit says the city has filed a motion to dismiss the case. In that motion, the city says Green was never given assurances that the city intended to partner with him to build a sports complex. The decision came down to financial feasibility and public benefit, according to documents filed by the city attorney. And let's get that employment security report. And we've got Terry on the phone with us this morning. Good morning, Terry.
How are you?
We're fine. How about yourself?
Just fine.
Jim's not here to pop us in the back of the head to tell us it's Monday.
Don't y'all slack off.
Yeah, it happens. What you got to report this morning?
Okay. We're going to start in the Rutherfordton area. We have a CDL truck driver position. This requires a Class A CDL license. You must have 1 year of driving experience. You will be home every night, and this pays $11 to $14 an hour. We also have a warehouse manager in the Rutherfordton area. This requires 6 months experience, and this job pays up to $40,000 a year, depending upon experience. Over in the Columbus area, we have a machine tool pipe fitter position. This requires 2 years as a pipe fitter and a high school diploma,
and this job pays $16 to $25 an hour, depending upon experience. We also have a machine tool builder position in the Columbus area. This job also requires 2 years experience, a high school diploma, and this job pays from $14 up to $25 an hour. We also have a fitter and a welder position. The welder will be doing MIG and TIG in the Columbus area. You must have at least 6 months of welding experience, a high school diploma, and this job pays from $14 to $25 an hour. Still in the Columbus area, we have a mechanical designer position. This requires 6 months experience as a mechanical designer, a high school diploma, and this job pays $14 to $28 an hour. And we have a PLC hardware and software engineer position. This job requires 6 months experience, a high school diploma, and this job pays $16 to $30 an hour, depending upon experience. Over in the Spindale area, we have 2 social worker positions. These require 3 years experience, at least a bachelor's degree, and this job pays $43,442 a year. And in the Forest City area, we have a financial services rep for a credit union. This job requires a high school diploma, and it pays $30,000 a year. And these are just a few of the jobs that we have available at the Rutherford County NC Works Career Center. We are located at 223 Charlotte Road, Rutherfordton. For more information on these or other positions, you can call us at 286-3042, or you can go on our website at www.ncworks.gov.
Terry, have you ever seen the TV show NCIS?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
and you know Gibbs kind of pops them in the back of the head when they forget to do something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Jim's not here to pop us in the back of the head and remind us. So we missed our Monday morning head pop. But thank you for calling us and reminding us, and you have a great day, and we'll talk to you Monday.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And we'll have more news right after this.
Hi from Smith Drugs in downtown Forest City. Go to our Facebook page and check our daily sale items in the gift shop on a variety of items to include clothing, shoes, toys, books, jewelry, just to name a few, or come in and see for yourself and save on these sale items. Also, don't forget our daily breakfast specials at $3.99 and our lunch specials at $5.99 in the old-fashioned soda fountain. After 3 p.m., ice cream and desserts only will be served until close Monday through Saturday. Our home medical department has a number of products, including CPAPs and supplies for those CPAPs, lift chairs, seating cushions, walkers, and canes, besides diabetic shoes and mastectomy services. And last, go to our new website at smithsdrugsfc.com and see all the new changes we have made, including our mobile app, which can and will save you time on refills of medications. Or you can simply come in and we can show you how to go to our website and download that mobile app on your smartphone. Thank you for all that you do in supporting Smith Drugs, downtown Forest City at 139 East Main Street.
Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care.
Well, if you've missed it, Cozy Home has a brand new location. Stop by Graham Cash in Forest City, and in the lower level, stock up on your favorite Cozy Home merchandise. They still offer the same Cozy Home low prices. They've got comforters 86 by 86, $15. Towel sets, $15. Kids play mats, $10. Ladies spa robes, $10. And just in at Cozy Home, genuine Turkish bath towels, hand towels, and bath sheets, great quality. They've got the bed rest pillows, floor cushions, $10, down comforters, They have plush blankets, $10, $15, and $20. 300 thread count pillowcases, $5 each. Again, Cozy Homes. See them today, located inside Graham Cash in the lower level, and that's in downtown Forest City. Here's that Sheriff's Report recorded earlier for broadcast at this time. With that Sheriff's Report, here's Officer Suttles.
In the last 48 hours, we've had 102 calls for service, 8 arrests, currently housing 155 in the jail. For incident reports, Courtney Annabelle Bean reported misdemeanor larceny, injured to real property. Terry Wilder reported breaking and entering misdemeanor, damage to personal property. And for arrest, Leah Harmon was arrested on a failure to appear and is currently being held on a $5,000 secure bond. That's all I have for you this morning.
That was the Sheriff's Report. Officer Suttles bringing you that report. Well, a detention officer made an unexpected discovery while booking a woman into jail. According to the Shelby Star, Lee Elizabeth Adams, 44, of Bellwood Lindale Road, Lawndale, and Tilford Gary Short, 50, of Turner Road, Kaiser, were arrested during a traffic stop by Cleveland County deputies. The two were stopped at around 4:30 a.m. Monday on Kaiser Road. K-9 deputy Jay Spearing was talking with Short, who was driving the car, when he noticed a plastic tube in Short's pocket. On closer examination, he discovered there was methamphetamine residue on it, according to the report. During a search of the car, the deputy allegedly found a syringe loaded with what appeared to be methamphetamine in Adams' pocketbook. Both were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. When Adams was booked into the Cleveland County Detention Center, an officer allegedly found a condom containing nearly an ounce of methamphetamine hidden inside one of her body cavities. The street value of the drugs is around $1,200. Adams is also charged with possession of intent to sell, deliver methamphetamine. Short has several drug convictions in the county dating back to 1992. However, both are out on bond. Well, arrests have been made in connection with 2 armed robberies and the shooting of a store clerk over the weekend, according to police. Police Major Art Littlejohn said both suspects in the robberies were arrested yesterday afternoon after a massive search in the area of Calder Avenue and South Liberty Street near Mary H. Wright Elementary School. Assisting in the search were Spartanburg County Sheriff's deputies, K-9 units, and the police department's tactical team. After receiving tips from residents, Littlejohn said suspects were found at around 4 p.m. at a house in the 500 block of Calder Avenue. A Ford F-150 pickup truck used in the robberies was located in the backyard of the house, according to the report. The first suspect was caught attempting to flee from the house after a short foot chase. He was identified as Christopher Jahari James Benson, 21, of Prince Hall Lane. He was charged in both robberies with 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of armed robbery, 2 counts of possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. The second suspect was also located in the house and surrendered. He was identified as Perry Charles Ellison of Princeton Street. He was charged with attempted murder, armed robbery, and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. The Spartanburg Police Department is thankful for the support of the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office and many members of the community, Littlejohn said. The first robbery was reported at around 8:30 p.m. Saturday at the Side Tracks convenience store at 704 Crescent Avenue when a suspect wearing a ski mask walked behind the counter, hit the clerk in the head with a black pistol, and took money from the register. The suspect fired his weapon at the clerk 3 times, striking him once in the leg, that according to police. The suspect fled in a blue F-150 pickup truck, whose driver waited for the suspect until he left the store, according to police. The clerk was taken to Spartanburg Medical Center to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The second robbery, reported shortly after 8 a.m. Sunday at the Corner Stop store at 720 Haynes Street, according to police. A witness told police 2 men came into the store and started demanding money. One of the suspects was wearing a white L.A. Kings hoodie, had a black handgun, jumped the counter, and began fighting with the cashier. 4 or 5 shots were fired, the witness said. The witness told police the suspects left the store in a blue F-150 pickup truck, which was left at the scene. Congratulations go out to Michael Crowder, works at S&S Trucking, lives in Polk County. He was our Daylight Donuts with this morning winner from Granny B's. North Carolina sports is coming up next, and then the Word of Faith is in at 8:30.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Kyle Busch tracked down pole sitter Ryan Blaney before completing a victory in NASCAR's Cup Series race near Phoenix. Martin Truex Jr. finished second, followed by Blaney, Eric Almirola, and Denny Hamlin. College hoops on Sunday. Jessica Shepard had a season-high 30 points and 13 rebounds, and number 4, Notre Dame, claimed its 5th Atlantic Coast Conference tournament title in 6 years. They routed number 3 Louisville 99-79. On the men's side, 3rd-ranked North Carolina earned a share of the Atlantic Coast Conference regular season championship after they beat Duke on Saturday in Chapel Hill 79-70.
It was a really good game. It was a really good game, and Kobe's flurry kind of did that.
Kobe was a mess there for a while. He was hard for people to handle.
Shame on him for doing that. He shouldn't have done that. Will you tell him that? Yeah, all right.
Virginia, who owned the head-to-head tiebreaker with the Heels, they secured the number 1 overall seed in the ACC tournament. Dean Smith used to talk about the regular season title being more impressive than the tournament title. Roy Williams coached with Smith for a decade, and he agrees.
I do really believe what he was saying, that it's harder to accomplish something over a 2.5-3 month period than it is 3 or 4 days.
The Cavs, Heels, Duke, and Florida State all have double byes. They won't start their ACC tournament until Thursday. Mike Krzyzewski is optimistic Zion will be back for Duke's first game, which is desperately needed for them to win.
We've been good, not real good, without Zion. Like the kids have fought, but it's inconsistent. It's not at the level that's needed to win a championship. And in order to win a championship, you have to be outstanding. And it depends on how Zion, his shape. If Zion's healthy and whatever, then we'll have a chance.
NC State routed Boston College Saturday to finish with the 8th seed. The Wolfpack will tip off the first full day of the tournament Wednesday in Charlotte against Clemson. This is NCN Sports.
Hockey fans, Caniacs, and other cool people, the Carolina Hurricanes' incredibly popular Homegrown Series offers you one last chance to celebrate all things North Carolina this season as the Canes host Minnesota on Saturday night, March 23rd. Grab a giant turkey leg, strawberry shortcake, beer from Lone Rider Brewing Company, or a limited edition Canes t-shirt from Porch Fly Supply Company. Not available that night? Catch the Canadians on Sunday night, March 24th. Learn more today at hurricanes.com/tickets.
State lawmakers are cranking up a new legislative session. Everything's on the table. The budget, education, transportation, regulation. What are they doing, and how is it affecting you, your family, your business, your wallet? Carolina Journal helps you find answers. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
The Carolina Hurricanes rebounded from Friday's 8-1 decimation on home ice at the hands of Winnipeg by beating the Predators on Saturday 5-3 in Nashville. For head coach Rod Brindamore, goaltending was much better against the Preds than it was in the loss in Raleigh to the Jets.
It's been the story of the year, really, for me. We're a battling team. We're working hard, but we're making mistakes just like everyone else, and we need some big saves at key times, and that's what we've been getting.
Carolina continuing a 3-game road trip tonight. They're in Colorado for a 9 o'clock puck drop against the Avalanche. Francesco Molinari won the PGA's Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill Sunday. The reigning British Open champ rolled a 45-foot birdie putt on the final hole to capture an 8-under 64. It left him 2 strokes ahead of runner-up Matt Fitzpatrick. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
The foothills will see dry conditions across the area for much of the week ahead. Otherwise, we could squeeze out some sunshine for today and temperatures heading into the mid-60s by the afternoon. We'll have to watch some areas off to the south in the lower 70s. Mostly sunny conditions will remain on tap on Tuesday. Expect those highs to be cooler, though, in the 60s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you again for listening. This is Mark with Word of Faith Fellowship, and
I'm so glad you're listening today, and I have some wonderful news that I want to share with you. The news I want to share with you today is that God has written a book about your life. Now, you may never have heard that before, but there is actually a book that has been written about your life. And in that book is every day planned out of your life. Every page has your day-to-day events filled about what you are supposed to be doing each and every day. God has it all planned out. And God actually wrote this book about your life before you were ever born. He had your life all laid out before you. I want to start off by reading about this book about your life. It's Psalms 139, and it says, "For you did form my inward parts. You did knit me together in my mother's womb. Your eyes saw my unformed substance, and in your book all the days of my life were written before ever they took shape, when as yet there was none of them." Isn't that amazing that God wrote a book about our lives before we were ever even born? Even when we were in our mother's womb, in our unformed substance, He saw us, He knew our life, and He had it all planned out for us. And it goes on in Ephesians 2:10, and it actually says, here's what it says about our life every single day and these plans that He's planned for us. It says that for we are God's own handiwork. We're His workmanship, recreated in Christ Jesus. We're born anew that we may do those good works which God predestined, planned beforehand for us, taking paths which He prepared ahead of time that we should walk in them, living the good life which He prearranged and made ready for us. Now that's truly amazing that God has prearranged, preordained a wonderful life for us. It says that He has a path for us that He's already ordained. Long before the foundations of the world, He knew that you were going to be born and you were going to come into existence. And actually, He had your days all planned out. And every single day that He has planned for you is a wonderful day. Now, what we need to do in our hearts is ask God, God, how can I live on every page that you have for my life? Every single section of the book that you have written for my life, page after page after page. God, I want to walk in this plan that you have for me. And that should be our prayer every single day. That's why we come to Jesus. That's why we seek Him with all our heart, because we want to fulfill this book, this plan that He has written for our lives. But when we do not seek Him with our whole heart, when we do not come to Him with our whole heart, and we don't seek the plan that He has for us every single day, then we're actually in sin. And what happens is we get off track and we get into our own plans and our own ways, and we're no longer in this book that He has for us. Now, when you're in the book that God has for you, you walk down a path every single day that is wonderful. Now, you may have a job that you go to every single day. You may be a person that has a family that you're raising and caring for children. But when you're walking in that plan, every single day, no matter what you're doing at your job or at your house or when you get home from work, every single day is going to be filled page after page with wonderful, happy paths that God has for you. Now, here's how it works. When you start to pray, God, I want to walk in every single page that you have of my life in this book. What He will do is He will begin to lead you and guide you, and He will bring people in your path that He wants you to encounter. He will bring you to where you need to be. He will help you every single day, structure your day how it needs to be, and get done everything that you that He has for you that day. Now that's walking in God's plan. And as I read in Ephesians chapter 2, it says that when you walk in this plan, when you walk in this book, it says that these plans are happy paths. Now, that means that God's book for you is the way that you're going to be happy. That's wonderful news for us. We don't have to have our own plan. We don't have to have our own book. Now, there is no other book. But I will tell you this, that there is somebody else who has a plan for you, and he wants you to go down his plan as well. And that is the devil. And it says that the devil is roaming around like a lion, seeking whom he may devour. Now remember that Jesus said that the devil comes as a thief to kill, steal, and destroy. That's his mission in life. And then Jesus said, but I came to give you life, and life more abundantly. Now, so we have two different situations going on. We have God and His wonderful plan, and then we have the devil and his plan for your life as well, to kill, steal, and destroy you. So every single day, when you wake up, you have to realize that there's God who loves you, and He has this wonderful plan for your life. And then there's the devil, and he's trying to pull on you, and he wants you to go down his plan. Now, the devil's going to make his plan look very nice. He's going to be seductive, and when you start waking up in the morning, the devil's right there to speak to you, and he's got all of his hosts of demons, and they're there to tell you to go down a certain path that is the opposite of the path that God has for you. So every single day we have to pray and say, God, I don't want to go down the path of the devil for my life today. I want to go down your path. God, help me to hear your voice so I will follow your path. Now, last time I was here, I shared about the sheep. And it says that God's sheep hear His voice, and they never listen to the voice of a stranger. And we're going to talk more about that, but that is how we're supposed to live, is listening to God's voice. Now remember I said that when we don't ask God to be in His plan, we are actually in sin. Every single day, when we don't ask God, God, I want to live in the book that you have for my life, we are actually in sin. Now, I'm going to read to you a verse, and you may have never heard this verse before, but it actually tells what sin is. And it's in 1 John 3, verse 4. It says this, everyone who commits sin is guilty of lawlessness. Now, what's lawlessness? It goes on. For that is what sin is, lawlessness, the breaking, violating of God's law by transgression or neglect, being unrestrained and unregulated by His commands and His will. Now think about that. Did you know that you are actually in sin and I'm in sin when we go through our day and we are unrestrained and unregulated by God's will? You and I are actually in sin when we are living a life and we're actually seeking our own will. We're not asking God for God's will. We're not listening to God to tell us what His will is, to walk in the book that He has for us. It says that we are unrestrained, we're unregulated by God's will, and therefore we're doing our own will. And really what we're doing is we're listening to the devil, because he's there also trying to get us into his paths, the paths of destruction. Think about that. Every single day we have a choice. We can be in sin, unrestrained and unregulated by His will, or we can seek to be in His will. Now that's why it's so important that we seek Him every single day. But listen to this. When we are in sin and we don't seek His will, and it can happen very easily when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is you just think, well, I want to do this and I want to do that and I have these plans and this is what I need to do and this is what I want to do. Instead of saying, God, You have a plan for me today. You want to lead me in what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. And God, you want to actually do it through me. It says that he wants to do it through us. He wants to give us his grace and his ability to do everything we have to do. And that's how we have a relationship with him. But when we seek our will and we say, I'm going to do what I want to do today. What do I want to do? That's when we're in sin. And here's what happens. The Bible says that these sins are actually written in our book. They're written in our book. It's written in the book that we have. And instead of going down this page in this chapter that he has for our life, we end up going down a whole nother path outside of the great book that he has for us. And it says that the sin that we give to is written in our book. And did you know that there's coming a day when every single one of us will actually have to stand before God? And did you know that the book that he has written for your life is going to be open before you? And it's going to set before you everything that he had written in your book, and you're going to have to give an account. Did you walk in the book that he has for you? Now I'm going to show you exactly where that is. And it's in Revelations chapter 20. Now this is talking about the great white throne. And it says this, Then I saw a great white throne, and the one who was seated upon it, from whose presence and from the sight of whose face earth and sky fled away, and no place was found for them. I also saw the dead, great and small. They stood before the throne, and books were open. Then another book was opened, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged, sentenced by what they had done, their whole way of feeling and acting, their aims and endeavors in accordance with what was recorded in the books. Now this is amazing. And you may have never heard this before, but we will all stand before God. Now this is talking about the great white throne. This is the judgment of the earth in the end times. At the very end, at the accumulation of all the ages, there will be a judgment where all of mankind will give an account. And it says that when he comes on his throne, it says that he opens the books. Now this is not the only account of this. Can you believe that there is 2 different accounts of this exact incident in the Bible, almost word for word? Daniel chapter 7 verse 9 says the same thing. Listen to this. I kept looking until thrones were placed, and the Ancient of Days, God the Eternal Father, took his seat, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame. Its wheels were burning with fire. A stream of fire came forth from him, and thousands ministered to him, and 10,000s rose up and stood before him. The judge was seated. The court was in session, and the books were opened. We're hearing about books being opened in Daniel. We're hearing about books being opened in Revelations. These are the books that I have been telling you about. It's the book that is written about your life and my life. And when we stand before God on that day, this book of your life is going to be opened. And it says that we will be judged by whether or not we did what he has written in his book for our life. Now, this is a judgment, a court scene like no other. This is not like what you may have seen or heard about in our courts that we have every day. This is the final judgment. This is not a court where there's appeal that you can appeal to our court. This is not a court where you have somebody next to you, maybe an attorney advocating for you. This is not a court where you can say, but maybe can I have a second chance, or maybe can I do this or that. This is the court of final judgment. There's no time for you to say anything else, to try to ask for something else, or have a second chance, or maybe you can say something that would try to justify it. This is the final judgment. It is the end. And it says that we will be judged according to the books that were written about us. Now remember, I said that when we sin and we don't seek His will for our lives every day, that it is recorded in our books. And that is why it is so important that we understand that God has given us and allowed us, when we are truly born again, and when we come to Him with our whole heart, He has allowed us to come to Him in repentance. That's why Jesus died for us. And when you actually receive Him into your heart and you surrender to Him with all your heart, and you say, Jesus, I want to give you my life. I surrender everything to you. And I want to serve you for the rest of my life. And I want to walk in the book that you have for my life every single day. And I don't want to serve any other gods. I don't want to put anything before you. It says He comes and He lives inside of our heart. And we're born again. And when you're born again, God has given us repentance. When we sin, we can come to Him and we can acknowledge our sin and we can ask forgiveness. And true repentance is when the Spirit of God works in our heart repentance, and He actually changes that in our heart. He changes the area of sin in our heart so we don't go back. Repentance actually means a total transformation, a total change, so we don't return to the sin. So that's how the sin is removed from our book. It's the eraser. Repentance is the eraser that erases it from our book, so that when we come before God on that day and we stand before Him and the books are open, we can have repentance before we ever get there. And that eraser erases it, and we can stand before God. And God can say, well done, my good and faithful servant. And that's how we have to live every single day, walking in the books of life. And if we miss it here and we miss it there, we come to God with our whole heart in sincerity, and we acknowledge our sin, and we repent, and we say, God, forgive me and change my heart so I do not continue down the wrong path. And it says He's faithful to forgive us and change our heart. Now, what I want to share with you is this, that when you don't walk down the path that God has for you, you reject the book that He has written for your life, and you don't come to Jesus, and you never receive Him. Or if you do receive Him in your life, and you have surrendered in your life, but there comes a time, even after you're born again, that you have made a choice to stop following this path that He has for you, the book that He's written for your life, then you are blotted out of His book called the Book of Life. So remember, I said that He has a book for each one of us? And it says that when they stood, it says all the books, it's plural, the books were open, and all of humanity was standing before Him. Remember, all the way from the beginning, Adam, all the way to you and I, and keep going. Rich, poor, famous, not famous, all have books that stood before you. But there's another book that I want to talk to you about, and it's very important. It's called the Book of Life. And here's what it says about the Book of Life. It says this. It says, and if anyone's name was not recorded in the Book of Life, he was hurled into the lake of fire. God knows who has surrendered to Him, who has let Him come into his heart, and who has walked in His books that He has. And it says that there's a special book called the Book of Life. And those names of those people who have walked in His plan and His path are in this book of life. But you and I can actually be blotted out of the book of life, even if you have at some point surrendered to God. Even if maybe you've said this prayer and you've come to Him and you've acknowledged that He's Lord, but you leave Him. You go about after that and you live your own life. You no longer seek Him with your whole heart. You go down your path in your own will. You can be blotted out of His book. Now, there's a lot of people that have heard a doctrine called once saved, always saved. I've heard it too, and it's taught. But it's not according to the Scriptures, and it's not consistent with the Bible. Now, many people rely on a verse, and that doctrine has come from a verse in John chapter 10. And I'm going to read it to you. And it's John chapter 10, verse 28, and it says this. Jesus is talking, and He says, I'm the good shepherd. And He talks about sheep and how we're supposed to be like sheep. And here's what He says. He says, and I give them eternal life, and they shall never lose it or perish throughout the ages. To all eternity they shall never by any means be destroyed, and no one is able to snatch them out of my hand. Now, who is He talking about that no one can snatch out of His hand? Let's look at the verse before. Verse 27 says this, the sheep that are my own hear and are listening to my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. Now, who is it that will never be snatched out of His hand? Who is it that will never lose eternal life? The sheep that are hearing and listening to His voice. You can't just take the one verse by itself. You have to listen to what Jesus says. And Jesus went on and He said, my sheep do not hear the voice of a stranger. They only listen to the voice of the true shepherd. So if you're going about your day and you're living a life and you're not living it as a true sheep, you're not living a life where you're only listening to the voice of the true shepherd, Jesus Christ, and you're following Him, then you're not a true sheep, and you're not part of these that will never lose eternal life. Now, really, when you look at the Bible from the very beginning, God gave us a will. All the way in the garden from Adam and Eve. And He set them up and He gave them all of the trees to eat from. And He said, don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God has given us a will from the beginning. Did you know that even if you're born again, even if you have professed to know Jesus Christ and surrender your life to Him, did you know that it doesn't stop there? You still have a will, and you can, by an act of your will, stop serving Him. Now, here is what the Bible actually says. There are many people that do not believe even in hell. Now, this surprised me, but I actually have heard that there are churches that don't preach about hell. But we just read in Revelation 20, in the last verse, that those who are not in the book of life will be cast into hell forever and ever. Now, Revelation 21:8 also says, but the cowardly, unbelieving, the murderers, the sexually immoral, the idolaters, the liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of hell. And it goes on in Matthew 25, and it talks about that those who do not serve God will go away into eternal punishment. Jesus continually talked about hell, and He said it was a place of weeping and gnashing of teeth. It was dark, and there was fire, and it was forever. Hell's real. And what we have to realize is that we have to pray and say, God, I never want to turn away from You to where my name is blotted out of the book of life. Now, I want to read to you a scripture that actually talks about where God blots out people's names from the book of life. It's in Exodus 32, in 31. Now Moses was pleading with God because the people had committed idolatry, and God was ready to strike everyone dead. You know, God had much mercy for the Israelites as they went through the wilderness. But there were times when God was ready to destroy them. And this is one of those times. And Moses is pleading, God, don't destroy these people. And here's what Moses says. So Moses returned to the Lord and said, "Oh, these people have sinned a great sin and have made themselves gods of gold. Yet now, if you will forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray you, out of your book which you have written." But the Lord said to Moses, "Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot him, not you, out of my book." God says he will blot us out of his book when we have sinned. Now in Psalm 69 verse 28, David was praying to God about the adversaries against God. These are adversaries that were opposing God and coming against God. And this is what he says. He says, God, let them be blotted out of the book of the living and not be written with the righteous. Now in Revelations 3, here's what it says. It says, thus shall he who conquers be clad in white garments, and I will not erase or blot out his name from the book of life. I will acknowledge him as mine, and I will confess his name openly before my fathers and before his angels. So he says that those who overcome, those who seek him every day, he will not blot out of his book. But those who sin, he will. Now there's so many scriptures that talk about those who turn away from the faith. And we could turn away from the faith. And when we turn away from the faith, what happens? We're blotted out of that book of life, and it's very serious. Hebrews 6 verse 4 says this. It says, for it is impossible to restore again to repentance those who have once for all been enlightened, who have consciously tasted of the heavenly gift and have become sharers of the Holy Spirit. These people are born again and have felt how good the Word of God is and the mighty powers of the age and world to come. If they then deviate from the faith and turn away from their allegiance, it is impossible to bring them back to repentance. For because while as long as they nail upon the cross the Son of God afresh, they are holding him up for contempt and shame and public disgrace again. It's like they disregard the sacrifice, what Jesus did on the cross. In Hebrews 3 verse 12 it says, therefore beware, brethren, take care lest there be in any one of you. He's writing to the church in Hebrews. These are believers. In any one of you a wicked, unbelieving heart which refuses to cleave to and trust and rely on him, leading you to turn away and desert and stand aloof from the living God. So God warns us. He warns us as Christians. He warns us as believers. Take care, brethren, lest there be in any one of you an unbelieving heart that turns away from God. Now, how can we be one of those who never turn away? One of those whose name is in the book of life and we're not blotted out? When we believe in him every single day, as I just read to you, the word believe actually is to cleave to trust in, to totally rely on every single day. That's believe. Believe is not just something you do with your mind. You just acknowledge that God is who he is, and then you live your life how you want to live. That's not truly believing in Jesus Christ. Truly believing in Jesus Christ is being like that sheep that listens to the shepherd every single day. And when he leads you to this pasture, you follow him. Everywhere he goes, you're cleaving to him. You're looking to him for your every need. That is truly believing him. And when you do that, and when you wake up in the morning and you go through your day and you say, God, I want to live in the book that you have for my life. I want to walk down those happy paths that you have for me. God, help me to hear you today, to listen to your voice like that sheep. And lead me today in every single thing that I have to do. And do it through me, God, with your grace and ability. That's how we walk down the path that he has for us, for our lives. And I'm out of time, but I want to encourage you. Let's walk in the paths that he has for our lives today. And this is Mark with Word of Faith Fellowship. I've enjoyed sharing with you about God's book for your life. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8:30 to 9. I hope that you will continue listening. Go to our website. We have more radio programs. They're all videoed. You can listen to teaching and wonderful testimony at wordoffaith.org. And thank you again.
From the Ethiopian airliner that crashed Sunday in Africa, killing everyone on board, including 8 Americans. Now questions are growing over the safety of the aircraft. It was a Boeing 737 MAX 8 that also went down last October in Indonesia, killing everyone on the Lion airplane. ABC News senior transportation correspondent David Curley.
Some airlines and countries